Timmy Williams.
Is
Or
that
in
your
other
reference?
words, what?
Is that your reference to the Scary Movie song? No.
It was.
It was? Okay, good. Dude, did you guys listen to it?
No, I
It's
just divined
great.
that. It's,
It's
I
so
loved your
bad.
version.
Scary movies. I was right on. When she had sang it, she was off. But I was like, what I was singing, I looked it up to make sure when I pranked her at the start of that episode to make her think I was quitting the show.
So you know what else is pitch perfect? The old switcheroo, where we're talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jaymo. We're the often imitated, never emulated retro gaming podcast diving deep into the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo Classics catalog. Today we're back at it again at Krispy Kreme as we somersault our way into Super Ninja Boy and Ninja Gaiden 2 in an episode we are calling The Widest Kicks You Throw. Now, Mike, listen. I know that's not good, but listener, if you like what you hear for some reason, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course play along. Bad title. I wanted to call it Re-Enter the Ninja, but I wanted to acknowledge how special this episode is. Arguably our first true sequel episode we've ever done. Mike, I can't believe you tricked him into coming onto the show once, let alone twice. Will you please welcome back officially our guest today?
Yeah, we have a fistful of gaming fun with Timmy Williams.
Oh, sorry, I left because I heard the title. I took off.
I was Timmy, I was listening recently to your Earnful of Popcorn podcast,
Huh?
and you were recanting a pretty disturbing tale about a fan who sent you full butt pics in the first
Yeah.
conversation ever. And you
Yeah.
said that was like a little off-putting because it was your first time talking. This
Right.
is our second time talking, so I assume I've got the green light for like full starfish, right?
I mean, sure.
A little more enthusiasm, please.
Yeah, I'd love
Thank
to see
you.
your butthole. What am I supposed to say?
Oh, I hope this doesn't come out when the school's back in season. Um,
Why? Oh,
Timmy,
because you're a teacher. For a second, I'm like, what is he? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I got it all to lose.
I heard Mr. Jaymo talking about his butthole. What now? Sorry.
We can't use this mic. Already it's unusable.
Wait, really?
I don't know.
It'll be
I mean,
fine.
I'm my own union rep, okay? So if it
I've
goes
been fired
sideways.
by a school system just because I was on Whitest Kids, so I guess I get it. So,
Okay, okay. Well, that's a much cooler. Well, actually, you know what? Who's to say?
right.
Timmy, you came on our show last season,
Mhm.
and on that episode, you were teasing the long-awaited release of the very last Whitest Kids project, the animated comedy Mars,
Right.
starring Sam Brown, Zach Kreger, Derry Trumeter, you, Timmy Williams, and the late great Trevor Moore.
Mhm.
It's long last come out, and Mike, you even joined Timmy at one of the screenings in downtown LA. So, can you tell us what that experience has been like?
You talking to me or Mike?
Nah, you.
Okay. Mike, what was it like meeting me? No, it's yeah. So the movie came out a couple months ago. We took it to a bunch of Alamo draft houses around the country and showed it and did Q&As. And yeah, Mike was at one, so I got to meet Mike in person. And I had my daughter with me because she has a couple lines in the movie, and she got to meet some of the other whitest kids for the first time. Because even though they're like family to me, it just was always very I could never get it together to get them out there, get her out
Yeah.
there, and get them in the same room. So yeah, and yeah, it was awesome. So we did L.A. and then San Francisco and then the Silicon Valley, and then the next weekend, Denver and Austin. The next weekend, Chicago, and 2 nights in New York. And then it has been screening at other places as well. And if you want to see, I don't know if there's a lot of screenings scheduled right now. I think only one, but uh, WKUKMars.com has all that stuff. But yeah, so it's out, and it's also it just hit streaming, and it's on Blu-ray. So yeah, it's out, and it is. I mean, I just want to make sure people know it is a scam. I mean, we did. It is a scam, but we did put the movie up, but it is still a scam.
What do you mean it's a scam?
Do you remember? Well, so last time when I did the episode, it had been around a time when a lot of people were on like Reddit and stuff. Not a lot of people, but like
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
a couple of POSs were on Reddit and stuff saying like the Mars never going to come out there stealing our money. And it's like, okay, if we wanted to steal like $400,000, we would have found an easier and faster way to do it. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? Um, but yeah, so it's out, and I think people like it. Mike, how did you like it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I
Yeah,
think one of the
good.
interesting things, without revealing anything particular, is knowing how long that you guys have been working on this.
Hmm.
There's some plot points that really feel prescient.
Oh my God. I had that same thought. You're like, oh, space travel being privatized. And it's like, didn't they record this dialogue like how many years ago, Timmy?
Well, we started writing in 2012. The dialogue was recorded in 2021.
Okay.
And, had Trevor lived, though, we probably would have even made one of the characters more like a more recent billionaire villain.
Sure.
In real life, but it's still got some echoes of that. But that's the thing, and it's funny that you say that because we've been told that before about things like our Shoshan the Elegant, the White Tiger King sketch, which we wrote in 07, put in season 3 in 08, and people are like, oh, like because it's like it's a tiger saying like white tiger power, we're gonna build a wall to keep the brown tigers out. Well, yeah. So people are like, how'd you predict Trump? It's like we didn't predict Trump. This kind of stuff has been happening forever.
Right.
And it's just that Trump is the most naked about it. But because he's definitely the dumbest president we've had, bar none, for sure. So far. Anyways, I'm sure we're gonna be
fingers crossed.
Who's that Twitch streamer who he always makes that annoying face and now he has like burgers and chocolate bars? We'll probably get him at some point, right? As the president.
Mr. Beast.
There you go. Thank you.
I just ate his Mario candy.
I hate thumbnail. Was it good?
One of them, the Yoshi eggs, really good. Yeah, real messy though. That peanut butter is way gooier. Check the shorts, YouTubers, and TikTok and Instagram. Yeah,
I refuse. Anyways, but it's very cool to have that out. But yeah, so there are things in it that have circled back around since we first had the idea, But we always tried to be, and I mentioned this in our last episode, my last episode with you guys. We always tried to be kind of timeless, and I mean. Corporations getting involved where they shouldn't is timeless. Religious people being confused because they misinterpret the Bible is timeless, and meth heads being heroes is timeless.
Were you ever worried with the production of the movie that you wouldn't get the role of Wimmy?
Yeah, that'd be good if Wimmy Tilliams was played by Sam.
They made me audition for it against Jack Black. No. Well, when we would at live Q&As, we'd like each introduce ourselves and who we played. I'm like, I'm Timmy Williams. I played Wimmy Tilliams.
I didn't know, really much of anything about the story and the characters going into it this morning when I was fired up the Blu-ray. And so like that got a full guffaw out of me when I saw your little character and the Wimmy Tilliams. But I kind of low key feel like you were sort of stealing the first section of that movie because you also played the dentist kid.
No.
That's not you screaming.
Or the kid screaming? Oh, that is me. Yeah. I thought you meant like the dentist.
No, that's a great bit too. Don't get me wrong.
That screaming child was going to be my daughter, but she didn't scream crazily enough because kids are always being told not to scream. And then we're recording that dialogue in my closet in my room. She has Zach and Trevor in her headphones. Telling her to scream, and she, so she tried, but so she has other stuff. She's the girl that screams shortly after that when they walk out in the lobby.
Yes,
that's her. And then she's the little boy that walks up to Trevor's character like, I fell off the slide. That's her. And then there's one or two more little kid lines later. But there's only 7 people in the movie. It is the 5 Whitest kids, my daughter, and Zach's wife. That's it. So it's kind of cool. It's a family affair. And of course, it's a family affair because it got paid for by fans.
Honestly, on some level, like made by fans.
That's what, yeah, totally. Well, the animators, yes, good point. Yeah.
At the first screening, the Q&A and everything, which sold out real fast in part because a bunch of the animators were there.
Yeah.
Since I got a ticket like an hour beforehand when someone resold one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had tickets to go see it in Colorado just so I could get someplace because of how quick LA sold out.
Wow, yeah, that's right.
Which I gave to a fan that was in the Denver area.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was like someone else was trying to get a ticket. It's like, here, go for it. Saves me a flight. And like the question came up during the Q&A about Easter eggs and stuff, and you guys being like, we don't know what's in there.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
The animators did, and I was I was seated next to one of the animators, and in talking to him, he was like, yeah, no, like I put the rapist in there, and I put the dad from Child Bride.
Yeah, that guy.
And a few other things, which then meant that when the Alamo showed it again a couple weeks ago, and I went back, I then ended up paying attention for it to spot them and just being like, okay, I spot, there's the rapist in this scene.
Yeah,
where it's just like, some guy standing someplace. It
Yeah.
is neat just how much sort of like they threw in because like, well,
Yeah.
we got to fill it with stuff.
Yeah. The Civil War on Drugs characters are a statue at some point.
Yeah.
The Trevor's character from Civil War, the one sister, two sister, three sisters, he's standing with those other characters you mentioned in that scene too. So
Normally, I
yeah.
would explain for our listeners who haven't seen the skits what kind of jokes you're talking about, but that would make this a very different show. So
Right, yeah,
be
yeah.
sure to check out the Whitest Kids YouTube channel if you want to know what we're talking about, because to me, it must be just so validating.
And if
Like,
your
it
parents
makes
get mad at you for watching it, don't blame your teacher.
That's right. That's right. Unless it's not me. If it's a different teacher, go for it. Well, guys, we have a
Ruthless.
lot of walls to scale today. Are you
Yeah.
ready to Naruto run into our first game?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's start with Super Ninja Boy, released on the SNES in 1993. As described on Nintendo Classics, Jack and Ryu set out on a grand adventure. Trouble brews in the capital city of Yokon after the departure of the Universal Peace Mission spaceship fleet, and it's up to Jack and Ryu to stop it. In this 1993 adventure released for the Super NES console that combines RPG and action elements, fight powerful foes by grabbing items and deploying ninja actions like throwing stars or moonsault kicks. Play on your own or battle with a second player to access more ninja actions, like lifting each other up for a tower mega attack, which might have been oversold in that description.
Yeah, that synopsis is missing a very important piece of the story too.
Yeah, which is what?
That they're in China land.
Oh yeah.
Can't even say it with a straight face.
It's crazy. It's wild.
China land is the name of the kingdom,
China land.
and their king is King Qin.
Yep. Yep.
Emperor Qin.
Emperor Chine, maybe. It's China. Like, we don't know.
The manual covers that, although also it covers all the moves called Jack and Ryu's humorous ninja actions
So humorous.
over
So
4
funny.
pages. And it's just like, that's
Wow.
not what humorous is, but okay.
So, since this is about sequels, it's a sequel of me being back, but these are also both sequels to the games I played before. So,
Yeah.
tell us why and how this is a sequel.
So developed by the same people, Culture
Mhm.
Brain. And the gameplay mechanics are, more or less the same with an RPG sheen
Sure.
pasted over everything. But let's get into the gameplay after we talk about the box art, because it's usually
Yes.
people's first impressions here. Timmy, would you mind describing for our audio listeners what the Super Ninja Boy box art was kind of looked like?
So it's two Cupid dolls because the original game the characters look like Cupid dolls. So now you have two young Cupid doll men in ninja suits. They kind of look like they're red and blue, kind of like the Double Dragon guys. And there's also a bunch of other random stuff from the game on it, including a red demon man in a drum set on a cloud in the background. And
Yeah.
there's a fish blowing fire, and then a star making a weird face that I'm not going to get into what it looks like. So.
If you, it reminded me of the strip club scene in
Yes.
in Mars. Let's put it that way.
You can see stars like this every day.
Mike, are we liking this cover?
A bit? Like, I guess it's weird. Like, it does sort of get attention, but it's just, I don't feel like it tells me what kind of game this is going to be, but I'm not sure the game knows what kind of game it's going to be, so I'm not sure I can hold that on the box art.
Yeah.
I think the game knows exactly what it's going to be because look at the side of the case. It says 1 or 2 player comical ninja action RPG, right?
And 8 megs. Don't be
What
sleeping
does
on
that
those
mean?
8. I was gonna ask Mike because he's a math guy. Mike, what's a meg? Other than the giant megalodon that tried to eat Jason Statham.
Oh, that bastard.
Would they put how many megabytes this was on the game?
I guess maybe I do. It is definitely a relic from a bygone era where they were like kind of advertising how big the file size was that you were purchasing.
But the graphics do look good, so if that's what they mean, sure,
Yeah. And to that point, I do think that this box art is a fairly accurate representation of how the game looks when it's not moving.
Yeah.
The sprites and everything, and advertising the 2-player here. So we subjected ourselves to this game because it was a sequel to Kung Fu Heroes on the NES, which Timmy also reviewed, as he alluded to. But this game is actually the third in the Super Chinese series, following Little Ninja Brothers on the NES. But as that game is not on Nintendo Switch Online,
Yeah.
probably because nobody wants it,
I
it does
mean,
fill me with some hope and fear that if they add Ninja Gaiden 3 to Nintendo Classics and Little Ninja Brothers, Timmy, I think your hands are tied.
I
I
guess.
think you're coming back to finish the trilogy.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of behind the scenes trivia for these games, probably because nobody cares.
Hmm.
But I did read that at the time of release, several gaming journalists criticized the game's poor translation and localization, which led to
Yep.
several inadvertent chuckles on my end, such as multiple dialogue boxes in which characters are asking about the color of your balls. Um,
Yeah, I did consider that if we were just covering this game, a great title that would have worked coming out of the items would have been T Star and the what kind of balls are they again?
Aura
But
balls.
T Star and the Aura balls, which also sounds like an '80s punk band.
Sure.
Well, one of these, the first time the game had come out against some uh, X-rated sexy game, so maybe T-balls that could be one too.
He's referring to Night Gal, the
Night
mahjong simulator that
Gal.
Kung Fu Heroes narrowly beat out in the arcades back in the day. And then it also has some just weird. I don't know if they just didn't know how people actually talk in America, but like later you get like a Gundam to fly around in. Timmy, you're an actor. Would you mind hitting the line that's on the screen for our audio listeners?
What's this? Oh, my banana! It has a shape of a human being.
What else would you say when you're gifted a giant robot, right?
Oh, my banana.
Oh my banana.
Also, what time period does this game take place in?
China.
The time period is Chinaland.
Super China.
Chinaland. Year super. Day China.
Done. Done. This game is one of the few we've encountered on the podcast with questionable product placement. There is
Oh.
a shark-like boss called General Bismol with an attack called the Pepto Dash.
What? What? And there's like pink fire behind him.
Oh yeah, yeah. This
You drink the
game.
pink stuff when your guts and butt's on fire. That's what
But
happens.
Mike, do you understand why this is kind of strangely timed considering some of the episodes we've done recently? We talked to Jason Page, the original Pokemon theme song singer, who also created the Pepto-Bismol chant.
Whoa.
Remember the heartburn
Weird.
diarrhea chant? So it's just like Pepto-Bismol is becoming the new kicks for our show.
If you guys can get sponsored.
Yeah, come on, get on
Ladies and
board.
gentlemen, please give it up for Pepto-Bismols, the
Yeah.
great switcheroo. Oh, sorry, I called your show the wrong name. The old
Oh, God.
switcheroo.
Terrible for SEO.
Yeah. Well,
And finally, Timmy, this one's just for you because this almost seems like something straight out of what could have been on Mars here. According to the always interesting website Cutting Room Floor, several sprites from the game went through major alterations before the final release. The magical decoy spell used to create a pinup girl wearing a nightie, but they changed it to just, you're a clone of your character to distract enemies. The miracle kick, which Timmy finally learned how to do in this game, right? Did you notice that they don't actually kick? They just do a somersault.
yeah. Weird.
In the prototype, there was a kick sprite, and they removed it for some reason. Isn't that strange?
That is strange. I guess I didn't really even realize I was doing it. I was doing the spin kick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
And
then
so
this bottom one.
yeah, the bottom one. So the reasons for removing the kick when they already had it in the prototype, I can't imagine the reasons you'd do that. But
Yeah,
the
that's
mini
weird.
mini boss Miss Finney now grabs you with her hands instead of her prehensile breasts.
That's literally what they had her doing.
Yes, she would swoop
Wow.
down and her tiggle bitties would grab you. And it's just like,
Wow.
See, decisions like that are why this isn't a classic.
Right. Because they didn't leave it in. Jam, it's too bad you haven't seen the whole Mars film yet, because that bottom one especially, like, it's very similar to something we had to cut out. So
I'm gonna look for it, or I guess
Yeah.
I won't look for it.
well, it was changed. So you'll see it, but it was changed.
Excellent,
Mike probably knows
excellent.
what I mean. So yeah.
So before we get into the joy pros and joy cons of Super Ninja Boy, I would normally ask everyone what their history is with this game, but I know because I listened to season 3, episode 8, True Believers, that none of us have played this sequel before or even really knew it existed.
Right.
So how far did we all get? Mike, can we start with you?
I am not sure how far I got. So the basic premise is that there's robbers stealing people from villages, right?
I mean, kinda.
And you have to go to some place to find them to get them released for the first town, and then you go back and you get like a sword.
Right.
Didn't know I'd beat them. I ended up on a different island, and it was like, what? How am I on a different island and I haven't done the first thing? So this does not communicate well. So I'm somewhere on a second island now, and very confused.
Oh, so what you're telling me is that because it has this open world RPG, you wandered far from home base before completing the quests in that village.
Correct. I think I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused, and I don't know if I can go back,
Okay.
which
So you
is
didn't beat
how I
it
feel about a lot of places.
in times and events.
I
Timmy, how far do you think you got in Super
don't
Ninja
know either
Warrior?
because I didn't even get to a boss, but I went through a cave. I came out the other side of the cave. I at one point, well, before that, then I went to a town where everybody was kind of like horny and talk about men. And what's the king, the guy that flew in a spaceship to China Land and became their leader?
Rub a doc.
Rubadoc. Yes. So there's an old woman there in that horny village talking about how Rubadoc is great, but she loves him, but she's too old for him. I went through a cave and fought some tigers on. The tigers were on those. Remember the pogo balls from the late '80s, early '90s? It was
Sure.
like a big bouncy ball with a plastic circle around that you stand on. So there, I fought tigers on those, and I didn't fight any bosses, I don't think. But I don't know how far I got, but I definitely did some stuff. I got a feel for the game for sure.
Tangent on the old woman who's like,
Yeah,
I'm too old for him.
right.
Just because I totally unrelated to the game, I just love this story. Years ago, when I first like moved out to go to grad school, so it's first time living on my own. So like I'd gotten a chunk of stuff from my grandma to help like set up an apartment. And one of them was like a stud finder so that I could hang up stuff on the wall.
Yep.
And some level of miscommunication, I think, resulted like 2 years later, she gave me another stud finder in with other things. So when I next seen her, I had brought that back. And I was like, yeah, so you'd actually already given me one. So now I have two. So I'm giving this one back to you so you can give it to one of my cousins. And she just kind of looks at the stud finder and just there's this pause and she just goes, I think I'm too old for this to be useful now.
Zing.
Dun dun.
Dude, grandma's making dirty jokes is great. Mine it was her 50th wedding anniversary. We're all there. And one of my aunts or uncles says, "This was fun." Yeah, yeah. And another one says to my grandma, "Yeah, thanks for having us." And she goes, "Well, that was fun too." Like, okay, grandma. All right, grandma. I retold that joke at her funeral too because I did the eulogy. It was basically a stand-up set.
That's a great. You know what? Shout out to Timmy's grandma. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
she was really funny. All my grandparents were, so I don't know what happened with me.
That almost makes me want to have kids.
Huh?
Almost makes me want to have kids just
Yeah.
for that joke.
Well, talk about things that have happened. This is just another tangent, but
Yeah,
screw it. I'm your guest. I get to do what I want.
do it.
That's how it works, right?
It
Anyway,
does.
so yeah, in the year since we last recorded, I mean, my daughter got a driver's license because in South Dakota you start getting your license at 14, and she has a job. And I just bought her a car last week.
Insane.
It's crazy, and that a lot of that makes you feel old. But what really hits is the now you can like today she drove to work and drove back, and I had nothing to do with it.
But last time you were here, you were saying like, oh, she was asking you if she could buy Grocery Store Simulator on the Switch. Does she work at a grocery store?
She does, but
Oh my
she's a
God.
bagger. But she does other stuff too, because today actually, tomorrow's Mother's Day, so she worked in their floral department. So I assume it was she's home. She's like probably beat. She might even be asleep right now. I don't know,
Shell
because
shocked.
that was probably super. She said it wasn't like tough, but it was just a lot. I'm sure. So
Okay,
but yeah,
Mike.
it's crazy. It's
This is how
crazy.
we're going to get 12 more listeners. We have to splice the clip of Timmy talking about that to then the future of her getting the job. What an advertisement for the
It's
game.
so weird. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Well, what's also funny is in that time since then, my brother did become a manager at that same grocery store.
Wow.
And
Wow.
when she got hired, he's like, I could fire your daughter. I'm like, that would be so funny. You should do it. Wait, don't do it. Don't do it.
Just commit to the bit.
But then I ran into, and I was at this funeral thing this weekend. I saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while, and I ran into this guy who's a sheriff's deputy. And I was like, hey, and I was talking about how I bought her car. I'm like, when we get plates, I'll give you the number so you can like pull her over. That'd be terrible. Anyways, but it is funny because I'm pointing out her car looks a lot like Walter White's car from Breaking Bad. So,
Oh, well, I mean, that's just a good omen.
and I said, I hope that's where the similarities end. I don't want her to have cancer or sell meth.
Right. Yes. Or maybe just be a very compelling character. You know what I
Have
mean?
meth and sell cancer.
There you go.
much better strategy.
Yeah.
Well, if you worked at a grocery store, you kind of are selling cancer because half those products will kill you.
Okay. Okay. Getting political. I like it.
It's not political. Don't eat too much corn syrup. Anyways, what's up?
So I'm so glad things are going so well for you, Timmy.
Well, for her, I didn't say anything about myself.
Okay. I mean,
there's the movie, I guess. Okay.
You had her and the movie.
Sure.
The movie.
So,
got the podcast. You got
don't-
a daughter that now takes care of herself a fair amount. That's
Takes care of me a little bit too.
Yeah.
there you go.
She made me stay home when I was sick one day. She's like, don't go to work. You can't go to work. I'm like, okay.
So
Anyways.
for me, and I don't want to bring down the room, okay?
No,
but
go for it.
the context I think is going to be very important for our discussion. I have had like one of the toughest weeks of my career.
Oh,
like nothing like newspaper headline is going to happen.
Right.
Like it's not that bad, right?
Game
But
got canceled.
there's been a lot of like issues in my classroom, and then like as the union rep, like that's been really complicated and busy. And I was chewing my way through 370 pages of Emily Nemen's Clutch for my wife's book club. Like I have not been this busy in feels like years.
Wow.
And so I was telling my coworkers how miserable I was committing to the bit that I would beat every game that we talk about, Mike. I had to make time for Super Ninja Boy, and 10 hours and 39 minutes later, I freaking did beat this janky ass game.
Good job.
Nintendo.
Family computer.
I didn't know you do the sound effect live for that. Wow.
So I know how long to pause.
Oh, so here's the thing though. As you guys continue and get more into Super Nintendo games, it's going to be more JRPGs and they're going to get longer.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Rough. Yeah.
So, because this is only kind of a JRPG.
Right. The longest one. So I've also keep track of how many, minutes I've played games for this show. And the longest one is the original Breath of Fire. And that is, I mean, I can look it up, but I think it's 40 something hours. I
just started playing it. And when I got all that stuff going this morning, I started playing that before I played the games I was supposed to play. And I started getting sucked into it. It's good. I've never played it before. It's
much better than this.
Well, it's better than a lot of games. It's good.
So, Timmy, you were so kind to come back and talk about the pseudo sequel to Kung Fu Heroes. Let's start with the Joy Pros. What did you like about Super Ninja Boy?
I loved the change. I love that they decided to make a JRPG thing. Now, I assume they did that for a crass commercial cynical reason because JRPGs were hitting huge, especially with Super Nintendo at the time, because like we said with the last game, it doesn't feel like anybody cared too much. And it's like, it still kind of felt that way, so I like that. I like the characters and sprites were great. They look crazy and silly. The world makes no sense, but I like that. And that it's an interesting gameplay setup. The classic JRPG thing: walk out of a upside down black U, and then you walk around the overworld, and you go to a different upside down black U, and you're in another village. But and then the random encounters and stuff. And it was interesting, but. Oh yeah, we're only doing pros right now, but I like that they have some sort of sense of humor in it, even though, like we said, the translations maybe didn't help them out, or maybe made it funnier unintentionally.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
But it's fun, and it definitely has it feels like a unique, even though I'm not sure how original they were trying to be. So
you got the sock hop music back, like you like that sock hop
for
music.
Sure. Yeah.
Mike, anything about Super Ninja Boy you enjoyed in a noteworthy way?
I think it's surprisingly forgiving gameplay. Like this is the first one that like you start off in the first town or right by it. You've got money. You kind of immediately can just walk into the store and buy stuff. Eventually, you realize it does a decent job of letting you know like if it's changing the items you already have, because it will just like, is it okay? And it's weird when when you're buying something for the first time, but later on it's like, oh, then I'll buy this other thing you have for a different amount. Is that okay? And I could start to be like, oh, I already have this thing. I don't need to buy it again because I don't keep track of the equipment well. But like, there's inns that I think heal you up.
Yeah.
Those were free.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be a penalty from when I would die and have to just restart back at one of the convenience stores that are the checkpoints.
Yeah.
It's really easy to know how close you are to the next like leveling up.
Yeah, which is cool. They tell you.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what's going on. There's not really much of a punishment for when you lose other than the time to get back to where you were. And the battles felt, I wouldn't say easy, but I'm saying easy. It felt like I could learn what I needed to be doing with them with like a new enemy of like, okay, new enemy. This goes really badly the first time, but after 2 or 3, it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. These become a bit more rote.
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of gameplay, it kind of was able to hook me fairly well because it kind of felt like I could kind of keep going relatively easily. I wasn't hitting massive walls.
I mean, but you're hitting invisible walls all the time because of like how it's programmed. To me, I think that this game is like the definition of quantity over quality. There is so many things it attempts. So the battles in this RPG are sometimes a kind of walk around brawler style, like Streets of Rage or Final Fight. Sometimes they are purely 2D fighting stages where you're just like, it's almost like Mega Man, right? There is no depth to the field, and you're usually trying to position yourself to attack flying enemies. As Timmy discovered, when I tried to let him play with me, every boss fight, there's like 4 or 5 boss fights, is JRPG style, where now you are selecting attacks and it's turn-based. And then you add in, the top-down exploration. You add in the little mini games that you're invited to play of like, oh, pick a card, or there's like a face matching game like Mario Party style. For as unambitious as Kung Fu Heroes kind of felt, this one, it's like you were really trying something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked, but like it was kind of a big swing to me. Would you agree?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but also like I was saying, this is what games were doing. This is what successful Japanese video games were doing at the time, was creating a big JRPG with a bunch of little mini games and different things. So it almost feels like, we'll just do that and we'll just kind of throw it all together, So, so I don't know, but yeah, in a way, sure, because there's a lot of game, But I also think they were just kind of trying to ride the trend.
Yeah, and it's not original.
No, but there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of quote unquote meat on that bone.
Right. It's like Friends. There's not super original, but there's a lot of it.
It was a good pandemic show.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I'm also glad you mentioned the sprite work. I think there's some really fun animations in here for like, when an enemy gets hit, their eyes just like bulge out of their heads because they're like shocked at getting hurt or whatever. Like that's kind of fun. There's sort of a funny sort of Muppet look to when you're drowning. Like I chuckled a couple of times at the way some of the characters were drawn. And Timmy, you are a person who has now been drawn.
Right.
In Mars, like, I mean, Wimmy Tilliams, like, did you have any input in like the final look? Because you said that fans animated it. Was there a storyboarding process?
Yeah, but I wasn't involved because I live in South Dakota and that was all done in LA. So I would assume Sam, possibly Zach, and I think maybe Trevor got to say a little bit before he passed about the character designs. But I mean, with Wimmy, it's just easy. You make me fatter than I am a little bit, and the character's a minister or something like that. He's religious, so you just kind of do that. It's basically like, I would assume that Sam and Zach and those guys probably just told the animators. They probably showed them like a couple sketches. They probably showed them the presidential debate sketch where I play like I'm Bill Homestead, and I'm like a Christian, a very nice Christian conservative political candidate. They probably showed them that Office Pranks one where Zach and Darren keep trying to prank me and I'm their boss. And I think like a couple characters like that, maybe some other ones are kind of like what they used, So
yeah,
it's not hard, but I feel like they all kind of look like us, like each person's main character. So
your skit or the bit, I should say, where your character's being interviewed by the news reporter, that was killing me. Where you're just like, oh, is there a question here?
Yeah,
like, it was so good.
And what's funny about animation is the guy interviewing me is me.
I actually didn't realize
So
that.
yeah.
But solid bit though, solid bit.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then one more thing I want to say about Kung Fu Heroes is that I do think, regardless of how fun the actual gameplay is, you kind of have to give them credit for making it two players.
Yeah, that's cool. That was cool.
Not a lot of JRPGs have two players.
Even now.
Yeah, even now. But like you're exploring the overworld map in two players, two-player combat, presumably turn-based RPG would still be two players. You know, as a kid, when you're sharing your console with your siblings, like that's
That's
huge.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, the few minutes we played together, you know, we were chuckling. It almost makes me want
Yeah.
to rethink my placement of this game, but I just think well, I'm about to launch into the Joy-Cons. So is there anything else we like about it?
To the credit of the two-player thing is also that it wasn't you're locked into two-player. You can kind of opt in or out when you start up a game.
Yeah.
And that is also nice because that does allow you you don't get that stuck situation where it's like, well, we were playing this and now they don't want to play, and I'm like 8 hours in.
Right. And you can change it on the fly at the convenience store. Like you don't even have to leave the game, right?
And so saying all these like things we appreciate about it, I just wonder if you guys would appreciate them 10 hours and 30 minutes later. Because permission to get into the Joy-Cons, can we complain
Sure.
about Super Ninja Boy?
Sure.
I hate this game
Oh, wow.
so much.
Okay.
So much. It's like the flames at the side of my head. Like it is, I think everything this game attempts, it does badly. Like the battles, I thought for 11 hours of them was atrocious. The hit detection is
Yeah.
so bad
Yeah.
because it's like you're trying to line up your attacks with the enemy, but where does their hitbox begin? Where does mine begin? Like even just if you guys are looking at the picture I'm showing you of me drowning, the character who's in front of the water I'm drowning in, the sprite is going behind my drowning head.
Yeah. And the water.
The layering in this game is a nightmare. Mike, that
Yeah.
must have frustrated you.
That is a consistent point with this franchise, though.
Yeah, that's true. Because you felt behind the floor? Is that what it was last
Yeah,
time?
yeah, got stuck behind the floor.
The
I
physics. Cool.
think part of it was I started to realize with a lot of enemies was like, oh, so long as they're not actively attacking me, I can basically jump to where they are and punch
Yeah.
and just occupy the same space. And so because it felt like it did that mostly consistently, I'm like, okay, I can work with the weird way you're going to do this. So some of them started to become like, okay, if I jump and then punch as I fall in front of them, that'll work. Some of the power ups would just drift off, and I'm like, I don't know where that exists in space. Like I would try. So some of those were
Yeah.
very much lost. Where I'm just like, I don't know
Yeah.
how to correctly connect with those. The random events definitely felt like they were a bit much.
Like too often?
Too often, and too often around the opening to caves, to the point that I actually realized I tried to walk in a cave on more than one occasion, and right as I was reaching the cave, had a wild encounter. And the first time I went off as though I finished the cave, and it wasn't until it happened again. I'm like, wait, I didn't go in that cave. I had an encounter at the door of the cave, and I do remember thinking, JMO's got to be having a lot of fun with this many wild encounters.
Right, yeah.
You do get a spell deep into the game to drastically reduce the amount of wild encounters. I do have to give it credit for putting that in eventually, but I have footage of me getting 3 random encounters before I'm able to take a single step.
Whoa.
It is so aggressive. And so then, you know, and I started running away a lot because it's like it doesn't do that thing that good RPGs do, like Earthbound, where it's like the enemies that are weaker will not mess with you as much. It's like, nope. And you click run away, but oh no, they caught up with us. You can't run. I hate the feeling of like losing the opportunity to grind easily because I'm like, what if I need the experience points later? Like maybe I should just spend the time on this. But oh, so much time I spent, and it was just freaking awful. The 2D fight scenes I think are even worse because there's so many flying enemies in there. You have all these weird currencies of ammunition. You have your ninja points, and then you have your mighty points, and they all kind of do different things. but it's just really kind of nebulous and hard to keep track of what does what. A lot of the items are sort of irrelevant to each other. Like you unlock this thing called the Ninja Cyclone, which costs 3 mighty points, and that makes you like Pac-Man when you get the power pellet. You just touch an enemy, boo, they're gone. Or for 3 mighty points, you can summon the Mighty Ball. We tried to do that with Timmy, and we tried to get that thing. We couldn't collect it.
Right.
And what that does is it turns you into Pac-Man, and you go wee, and it's like, why would I ever use that now? It's just completely outdated. And the sock hop music, Timmy, that
Yeah.
never changes. 11 fucking hours
Wow.
of that sock hop music. It's burned into my brain.
Yikes.
Oh God.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I thought I used a mighty ball and it just turned into ninja stars that were floating around me.
Yeah, which is the same thing as the Ninja Cyclone. That just if you touch an enemy, it like kills
Oh,
them
okay.
instantly. It's
Huh.
it's just I've been playing this game for 11 hours. Okay, I know
Yeah.
it like the back of my freaking hand.
No, you're gonna have to go to therapy probably. I get it.
Ugh, ugh.
Yeah, I definitely get it. It's one of those things that just kind of, like I said, it doesn't make. There's a lot of interesting stuff in it, but it's very thrown together, and that's why to me it still kind of feels like a cynical cash grab. And maybe it was not made by people who cared a whole lot. They just kind of like, well, this is what kids like right now, right? So we'll put this in here, we'll put this in here, we'll do this.
And nothing in terms of like, well, let's make sure the game runs well, right?
Right. And that the story makes sense.
And then, it's like the same four enemies. They'll change the way they look, but they all function exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like the JRPG battles, it's like, oh, randomly dodging, but I don't have any way to manipulate my stats. It's not like Pokemon where it's like, I'm going to raise a guy who's hard to hit, and that's the strategy. It's just like, it's random and freaking luck based. You have to equip your sword at every battle. There's so many clicks, there's so
Yeah.
many dialogue. It was just an 11-hour slog that just was repetitive. And the end of the game, okay, I got to give it credit for though. The most powerful equipment in the game is the aura shield and the aura armor and the aura sword. So at the end of the game, you literally are aura farming just to get ready for the final battle. But it freaking sucks because it's like Rubadoc, Timmy's favorite Rubadoc.
Yeah.
Did you know he's Robodoc? He's been the bad guy the whole
Oh,
time. Shock upon shock. And
I
it's like
know, right? Yeah.
you haven't been here the entire time. The story has no weight. The fights are no fun. It was tedious. It was hellish. I cannot say enough bad things about this game.
Do you think the villain is a reference to Papa Doc, or am I giving them way too much credit?
I don't know, man. Who's Papa Doc?
Dictator of Haiti.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
what time period? China? Was it during China?
I mean, we know that they know about Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah. I truly hated this game. I do, before we move on to the second game, though, want to give a shout out to classicrpgs.com or rpgclassics.com. I'm screwing this up
Try it
so
one more
badly.
time. Try it one more time.
They had a walkthrough of this entire game. I would not have made it in time. I would never have beaten this because, like as Mike said, you don't know where the hell to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that is my criticism of this was like the first town is like, oh yeah, go north through a cave. It's like, all right, and they did that, and then I'm just like in an open area wandering around. What the heck am I looking for?
Yeah, you fight through the cave and it's like, what? Yeah.
And eventually, I wander around, get to a town. It's like things worked okay in towns, but the connections between them less so. So it's like you get to the first to that second town. And it's like, okay, I find was it Rick?
Yes.
And I
Rick.
did both of you have like two temples of tests to do, and each one gives you like a power up thing.
Oh, right.
And I was on the ball enough to actually do both of them and then be like, wait, there was something weird in the first one. Because the second one gives you like shoes that you can walk on the ceiling with.
Yeah.
And so I went back to the first one because there was a bit at the end where there's a moving platform I couldn't reach. And then just use those to go across the roof. And then I got up to like this sound master or something that had like a concentration game of flipping cards. And it was like, okay, I feel pleased that I found this on my own. But then after that, like, it's like, okay, I've learned this. I need to go find the robbers. And there's some guys flying around with guitars, which is apparently them.
Yeah.
didn't know, didn't know. And so I was still looking for them when I ended up on another island, instead of apparently going, oh, I did this, I should go back to that first town because apparently you get additional stuff. And it was only when I checked walk like, how have I not found them? And I find the description was like, I did that. How did the game not tell me I did that?
Wow.
Very, very frustrating. I found it here. Dalton of Zeal, RPGclassics.com. This guy, I assume Dalton sounds like a male name. Their walkthrough has been my social media for the last week of my life playing this game for 11 freaking hours. And what I appreciated about this walkthrough is that they would put little jokes in there. There's a section of the game in Futureland where you are fighting enemies on a monorail. And their walkthrough for the monorail section was sir, there's nothing on earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified 6-car monorail. What I'd say?
That's awesome.
Yes, Mike. Mike's reading the entire monorail.
We got the whole song.
Whole song. And I was like, okay, thank you, Dalton of Zeal, RPGclassics.com. I needed that.
Ring came off my pudding can. That's a good Simpsons episode, too.
Yeah.
High quality, high quality.
And I agree with everything you guys are saying, but I guess we should have known because Kung Fu Heroes had very little direction or really like quality. Yep. And this one, although some things look cool, there's no direction. You're like, what the hell am I doing? And yes, Jaymo, you said there's so much like dialogue and stuff. Like, it sucks that to like save your game or like to come back or whatever. Like we said, I like that the guy tells you how much XP you need, but some games you just hit pause and look at the number. And like there is too much dialogue about everything, and it's weird too that you go into you go into buildings, but you never in the building. It just brings up a dialogue screen.
There was a bit that the dialogue hit a point like, okay, I better try this, and maybe this means something, or this is bad dialogue because you have a character of Nostradamus or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Nostradamus. Yeah, what?
There we go. And I'd gone and talked with him, and he's like, oh yeah, go check out here. And then I went back, and he's just like, oh, I didn't foresee you. Maybe I need a rest. Maybe you need a rest too. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the inn and spend a night and then come back because that's what that implies. And I'm going to check that. But it's like, I don't think that's what's happening here. I think this is bad writing, but I'm going to check this in case I miss a thing otherwise, because it's not that hard to do. But it's like, you're not really like, that would have been a nice spot for it to give me some better direction of what it was expecting me to do next.
Well, but as Timmy said, 2-player comical ninja action for a game billed as being funny, it is aggressively not funny.
Yeah.
And you know a thing or two about that, Timmy.
Not
anything?
Really.
We didn't go anything like 3 things about it, just 2.
Yes, Jim. Any other notes about Super Ninja Boy before we move on to our second and probably more anticipated game?
Not really. I'd say if I come back for a third episode, maybe we should leave this series.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe no more Super Chinese.
Because I'm worried. Listening to Jaymo talk about this, I got worried for his wife.
Yeah, no,
I'm not worried that you're gonna smack around or something, but it sounds like you were maybe not fun to live with while you were playing this. And anyone who married you is probably a good person, or at least very gracious. So I'm only basing that off of 2 podcast episodes, or 1.5 right now.
Well,
but,
I would no.
But I feel for her. So I hope you were still nice despite being very frustrated by this stupid game.
It really,
and you can bleep that one out, but I think it needed to be said.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I would never want to lay my hands on someone.
Of course, I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying like you're probably a dick though, because like this game probably pissed you off a lot.
Well, if I did try to lay hands on somebody, like the hit detection would be all off. My like calibration would be totally weird. So I'd probably just miss anyway.
Yeah, they just spin and then you have to stop. They're like, what are you doing? I'm equipping my sword.
Yes.
That was so weird.
I didn't even know you could get a sword like as equipment, really. I would just get occasionally like a sword out of one of the boxes.
Yeah, you can get those too. And that goes away for some reason. The items you find halfway, like a couple hours into the game.
It's so weird.
But you know what, though, Timmy? You got the skin gauntlet, so what else do you really need?
I did. And then, like, I buy the skin gauntlet. That's right. I forgot there was an equipment called the skin gauntlet. And I buy it, and the guy goes, because he says this when you're done buying something, is it okay? And I was playing with these guys when I said this, but I buy the skin gauntlet. He goes, "Is this okay?" And I was like, "No, this is not okay. This is not un-okay on several levels because skin gauntlet."
Who named that?
I don't know. Well, like I was saying, for dinner tonight, we're having skinless bratwurst. That sounds gross and weird. They're probably going to be good, but the name is weird. And it also reminds me of something I said years ago because I hate it when people call their like cats and dogs fur baby.
Yeah, Jackie doesn't like that either.
So so a while back I tweeted her something and I said like, if you get to call your pets fur baby, I'm gonna make my kid call me skin daddy.
Oh God.
So skin gauntlet, skinless bronze. There's a lot of skin.
Mathematically, I think the equation holds up though. The SAT analogy.
Yeah, skin daddy.
Right. Fur baby is to skin daddy as
I think
Oh my God.
it would have had a much more positive reception if Skin Gauntlet was just like a nude patch on Gauntlet.
Like
Just naked people running around a goblin generating little door.
Needs food badly. Okay.
Or if the game was called Skin Gauntlet instead.
There you go. There you go.
Kung Fu Heroes 3, Skin Gauntlet, Bloodlines.
All right, so let's get on to our second and final game of today, Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, released on the NES in 1990. As described on Nintendo Classics, the Emperor of Darkness, Ashtar, is on the move following his servant's failure. It's up to Ryu Hayabusa to save the day again. Pick up items that will provide increased abilities, like splitting Ryu into 3. Destroy enemies with the invincible fire wheel and other powerful ninjutsu techniques.
Which I think is actually correct.
Actually correct? What do you mean?
Ninjutsu.
I said it wrong?
No, I think the way it's spelled there is actually how you're supposed to spell it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Off to a better start.
Yeah.
I did like that we're playing as the same character as the other game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as in Super Ninja Boy, because it's Ryu in both.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that also shows you the lack of creativity.
Lack
I
of
mean,
creativity.
here they put Ryu as the character from the last game, but they're like, oh, it's Japanese Ryu. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, lazy.
Japanese martial arts guy. Oh, Ryu. It's like in everything. Yeah.
So box art,
Hell yeah.
we have Ryu kind of in a battle stance, and you got this kind of, I mean, would you call that a Chinese dragon in this guy behind him?
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, I think Japanese, I think dragons from Japanese culture also
Okay.
are similar. I don't know off the top of my head, though. I haven't gotten any smarter since last episode about that stuff. So
I think it's broadly East Asian.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool looking dragon. I feel like, this were I a young man walking through Circuit City, like this totally would have grabbed my eye,
Yeah. Look at this sick gun. Look at all the muscles he has.
Yeah.
That is not anatomically correct, but it looks good.
Looks good. I'm also tickled by, in the bottom left corner of the box art for Ninja Gaiden 2. It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of nostalgic for the days, right, where you would have sort of, little quips to sell the game like that.
Yeah.
And hard to beat, that works in 2, maybe 3 ways, depending on how many entendres you want to do. But, like, that's kind of a clever way to advertise your game.
Yeah. It's hard to beat. And I guess we'll get to the pros, but it's hard to beat. And what was the third way?
Well, it's hard to beat. Like, hey, hard to beat this game.
Yeah.
And it's hard to beat this game. And
because it's cool.
And then, Skin Gauntlet. Okay.
Oh,
so,
okay. Okay.
No, it's dumb. I'm dumb.
Okay.
Is the city skyline behind it like New York with the 2 towers?
I think so.
I think it's meant to be. Timmy, you remember this guy? Kind of. Shadow Warriors 2.
Oh, no, he's back.
He's back. Yep, mask off because they can't imply he's a ninja because that translates to assassin. So once again, in Europe, they changed the name.
It says Ninja Gaiden 2 on it, though, still.
The title of this game is Shadow Warriors 2, Ninja Gaiden 2. Oof. Like...
What the fuck?
That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And he doesn't look like the character in the game. Like he takes his mask off later. That looks like a different dude.
Yeah.
Like he kind of almost like Native American kind of features this time for the box art. Different guy. Not once again, not great. But I was fascinated with in the bottom left corner of the European box art for Ninja Gaiden 2 slash Shadow Warriors 2. It says this game pack cannot be used with the Mattel or NES versions of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Are you guys familiar with what that means?
Well, game pack is what they called like a cartridge in a box.
Yeah.
Okay. But what's the rest of that mean?
I was like, what do you mean you can't use it with the Mattel? Because I'm thinking like Barbie, right? And NES versions? What else? What other version am I going to play this on? So that led me down to this rabbit hole here.
Hmm.
Apparently, from 1987 to 1990, Mattel handled the production of the NES for UK, Italy, and Australia, while Bandai, among other corporations, produced the consoles for Germany, France, Spain, and most of Europe. This led there to be two different versions of the same console, the ultra rare Mattel version, it actually says Mattel version on the front of the Nintendo,
Wow.
and the European version, which was sold elsewhere. But then when Nintendo reclaimed their rights to produce the console starting in 1990, they called their version the NES version. So for sale in Europe, you have the Nintendo Entertainment System, Mattel version, European version, and NES version. But to prevent a gray market in Europe where someone could buy a console cheaper in another country and smuggle it across,
Right.
borders, they included and mandated the inclusion of the 10 NES chip, which would lock you out if the cartridge was from the wrong region. So
Wow.
if your NES version of the NES had a 10 NES chip, you might not be able to play your NES game.
That is insane. And I mean, early region locking, which some things about it are fine. Some things like, oh, why do that? Because 4K doesn't really do that anymore. So,
Not great. So, not a lot of trivia that I could find about Ninja Gaiden 2. It was released in the Play Choice 10 arcade cabinet 1 month
ooh.
before release. This was a thing that they put in pubs, and you could pick from 10 NES games to play in the arcade.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
You're okay. I never played one of these. Mike's looking at the list of games here. You got things like Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, which was kind of cool because it means they built the light gun just for that one game. And then the top build game, The Goonies.
Yeah. Which is not a good game.
Never played it.
And wasn't it called The Goonies too?
I have no idea. No idea.
I'm gonna research that while we talk because I think there was actually like a video game called The Goonies too.
Okay. Okay. Well, so Ninja Gaiden, we're going to get to in a
Yep.
second, but it's incredibly hard. But this is probably my easiest NintenDON'T or Dat.
There's more than 10 games on that.
Oh, sorry, Mike. I should clarify. They could swap out games. You could
Oh,
get
okay.
different games. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's like 20 games in that list.
Yeah, that's
No, it's and don't quote me on this, but I think I remember someone saying that like there was a way for like the pub owner to like insert the cartridges themselves and swap things out, but I could be making that up. But you know what?
Cool.
We're a podcast in 2026. I can make stuff up.
Sure.
Nintendo or Dat. Ninja Gaiden 2 is available at the Nintendo eShop for $7.99, but it is the exact version on Nintendo Classics. It's really weird. I bought it like an idiot thinking there'd be something different about it. The only difference is that you can't rewind and the sound effects are a little louder. So
Huh.
the audio mixing is different, but don't pay $8 for it. I mean,
Right.
unless you have $8 left in your bank account and you want to zero out in the weirdest way possible,
There you
don't
go.
buy this game. It's on Nintendo Classics. So, how far did we get in Ninja Gaiden 2? Because these games are notoriously difficult. Timmy, can we start with you?
Yeah, I got to the boss of World 4, so I guess 4-3, and I tried the boss a couple times, and I said, screw it. And I was playing just a little bit ago, a couple hours before this, standing in my kitchen because I'd let my lizard out because she was scrabbling around, so she needed to come out and like hang out. Lizards have really smelly poop, so when they poop,
Yeah.
they're like, "Let me out of here." It's like this is your problem, not mine, you know. But anyway, so I let her out, and so she just hung around in the kitchen. I could have stood there to make sure she didn't like get stuck on her or anything or something, because lizards are real dumb.
Oh
So I
yeah.
stood there playing Ninja Gaiden on the 2 on the Switch. So playing on the Switch, I think it was better with handheld. I tried it sitting on my couch with the Joy-Cons. Then I tried sitting on my couch with just like a more traditional controller. But I think I had the easiest time playing it handheld with the Joy-Cons. So yeah, I got through. I believe there's 7 worlds, right? So I got a little over halfway through 4. I got to the boss of 4, which is like a dragon thing with hands that come out, and I tried a couple times, couldn't figure it out. I was like, whatever. Because I had to get to Super Ninja Boy, so I'm so glad I made that choice.
Yeah, that was the boss where it's like the background essentially. It's like the big dragon.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. You gotta hit him in the face or
Got him
something?
in
I
the
don't know.
face. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, but so you made decent progress though.
Yeah, because that's over halfway through, right?
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah.
Mike, how'd we do?
I was just wrecked by the wind on like
Yep.
2-2.
Oh, dude, I almost quit. Yep.
Yeah.
I hit a point where it was just like limited time, got a second game to go through. This has stopped being fun. And I think
Yep.
it's because a key distinction there was like the first one really was like, okay, I can just memorize this order down, I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
This was a whole lot of, okay, I know the things to do. It's like, and the wind shifted on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just enough that it started being like, okay, this is the game annoying me to where I'm like, okay, this is stopped. Like, I know I'm not going to beat it, but it's the point
Right.
where it's like, this isn't even fun to be losing because it's just the same thing over and over. And I was there for a solid chunk after moving at a decent clip. Like, that
Yeah.
was where I just hit a wall. I was like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm going to move on for now.
Well, because you have the self-respect to stop playing a game when you don't like it. Like, who would subject themselves to beating all of these impossible games? So, liberal use of the rewind. If you guys recall, I got to the end of Ninja Gaiden like as an honest man, and I was
Right.
so
Without
proud
any
of
of
it.
that.
Without any of that, and that is infamously difficult to overcome the final bosses of that game. So I was still very proud of myself, and I wanted to do that for this game, but I mean it's just hard in just such a different way.
Yeah.
So through liberal use of the rewind earlier this morning, I did beat Ninja Gaiden 2.
Nintendo! Family Computer!
And I'm glad I did. There were some interesting things in there.
Yeah.
But so Timmy, you originally came on our show because you loved Ninja Gaiden, and then we suckered you into Kung Fu Heroes.
Yes, you did.
And then we were excited to see that the sequel was on Nintendo Switch. So you've never played this game, but Ninja Gaiden's been a longtime favorite.
Right.
What was your impression? What'd you like about it?
You know what I think I liked the most about it was the thing that we just all said frustrated us, but the environments in this game, how I think every level had some kind of environmental thing that you have to overcome, and that's new. I think that they didn't do any of that in Ninja Gaiden 1, I believe, right? Although I also, well, maybe I'll mention that in the cons, but anyway, so it's still, I felt like a lot of the mechanics were similar, but the environment thing was cool because the wind is terrible. But Mike, so the next one is lightning flashes. And so you're in the dark and then it flashes. And then there's, I think in the World 4, it's water. And sometimes it's flowing this way and that way. So that was fun. I forget what it was. Was there one in the first world? Was there an environmental thing?
Just graffiti, I think. It's just the city.
Oh, that's on the streets of New York. Yeah. Okay.
To me, that's like your kind of starter stage where it's like,
Yeah,
okay, learn the controls.
And then we'll push you off of a cliff.
Exactly. Yeah. But
with wind.
I also like that too.
Yeah.
It made the stages feel much more memorable because
Yeah.
as much as I enjoyed Ninja Gaiden, I probably couldn't list you the levels like you just did.
Right.
And they get even cooler. There's this one where you essentially go into hell and there's this big wall of flame behind you and it's all animated. Like it's flickering and moving.
Cool.
And that one it's kind of like it's obscuring the enemies. It's
that's
you
cool.
really gotta like focus in because they're a very similar color and it felt hectic and hellish like hell should probably feel.
Right. The level 2, I forgot that you start on a train, and that's really cool. And it's weird though, when I paused it, the train is still running. Like the game's paused, the train's running, and then in other things, when you pause it, everything stops. Something. But no, I liked that. I thought the bosses were generally easier a little bit, but the game is still really hard. I think it's harder than the last one.
It feels less fair than the last one.
Great point. Yep.
Yeah. And so I think that's why it's harder in a different way.
Yeah.
They just pepper you with enemies and projectiles and sometimes it's fun. Like this is the World 2 boss. He's this guy who throws tarantulas out of his robe, just peppering you with tarantulas. What a horrifying concept! Like that just gives me the.
Hey, have you ever seen the Italian horror movie The Beyond?
No, but I don't think
famous gore classic, there is a tarantula scene.
Okay.
And I'm like, someone who worked on this game has probably seen it. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Because just like tarantulas fall on a guy, and then the tarantulas like eat his face, and you
Ooh,
see a
ooh,
real
ooh.
tarantula bite a tongue, and I'm not sure how they faked it, but I hope they faked it.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's intense. That's so metal.
really crazy. Lucio
Yeah.
Fulci is metal. Look into him. Anyways, so
Did
but
you cover
the
it on your show?
tarantulas, huh?
I'm sorry, did you cover it on Earnful of Popcorn?
One of his movies, but not that one. But we did
Okay.
talk about that scene. No, we talked about his movie Zombie Flesh Eaters, where you see a woman's face. You see a wood splinter get shoved into a woman's face, but unlike anybody else making that movie, he doesn't turn away, and it just, yeah,
gnarly.
it's pretty awesome.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous, amazing thing with for horror and gore dorks. So, but yes, that was a cool enemy, and then the enemy after that is like it looked like the alien from Alien. It looked like a xeno. What do they call those?
Xenomorph.
It looked like a xenomorph in a spacesuit, right?
Yeah, kind of.
The
I know what
boss
you're
of
talking
level
about.
3.
Yeah, he's kind of like a sort of reptiles kind of cyber fusion thing. I feel like a lot of what I liked about Ninja Gaiden is still here, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same sprite for Ryu, but it's like popping enemies with one swing of your sword. That never really gets old. I
Yeah.
still am a big fan of the weapon system.
Yeah.
Where you just tap, you tap, or you hold down up on the D-pad when attacking, and then you'll shoot out your fires or your shurikens. But
Yeah.
I think they're very smartly planned out in terms of like how much ammunition they take, because like you can't just spam the projectiles and make the game easy, but when you do choose to use them, you feel really strategically smart and like, oh, peg that guy, was the perfect shot. And especially some of the bosses are much easier with the weapons. And Mike, you must have been relieved to see that they brought the Tecmo Theater cutscenes back.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, actually, while you guys were playing stuff earlier, I was finishing what I'd started doing, which was to find a long play of the game. And I talked about this before.
Yeah.
Normally, I will go watch a speed run of a game. And like I did that with this. Like I did go watch a speed run after. It's like, okay, I've gotten as far as I'm getting. I'll watch a speed run. Speed runs generally don't watch all the cutscenes because, speed run. And so this is the second time where the second thing I went and did was went and found a regular play of the game so I could watch all the cutscenes, because it's amazing how good this looks when you think about how little they're doing in terms of just like moving static images around to get sort of a dynamic sense of like you're watching scenes out of a movie.
Yeah. You mentioned speed running. I have to confess, I had one of the dumbest ideas I've ever had. I was so excited this morning because I was like, Timmy, we recently had on our show a blindfolded speedrunner. He's the first person to ever beat Donkey Kong blindfolded.
Jeez.
Yeah, and there's different categories of speedrun. There's like, oh, I'm going to play tandem, where Mike has the D-pad and I'm just pressing the buttons. And I was like, wait a minute. No one's ever done a speedrun for if you're using rewinds and being a cheater like me. I should speedrun this game while cheating. What? Oh, because it's not going to be impressive. It's not going to be better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to care.
That's why no one's done it.
But because my time is not going to be faster than the person who can do it properly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So who cares? Yeah.
The one I watched was like 10 minutes, 49 seconds.
Wow.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it was actually interesting because they were talking about stuff like that train, where it's just like the train just has an optimal thing because you can just, when you take damage, you can just keep moving, but now you're invincible for a bit. And so the train is just run to the right and never stop.
Oh, interesting. Just through iframes, you can kind of skip that level.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this. I want to bring it up. Like you said, Jaymo, a lot of the stuff from the first one is here. One thing they added that I thought was cool is I like the clone thing. I think that was kind of fun. Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay. That was definitely my Joy-Con, but please tell me.
Well, I just think it was cool. Well, because I needed the help. And I thought they did assist me sometimes. And it was just kind of cool. And I didn't think they were in the way too much,
See, that's...
It's weird, but I liked it.
To me, definite Joy-Con, because... I can't count the number of times. So what Timmy's referring to is that the new mechanic they added is that you can pick up a power-up that will create either one or two clones of yourself that will follow your path through the game exactly. They will jump and run exactly where you jump and ran, but they will still attack in tandem. So what you can do for some of the boss fights is you can jump up in the air, attack the boss, and then you fall away to safety, but your clone stays up in the air because it's just about a half second behind you in the trajectory. And now I'm mashing attack, and my clone is floating up there, whacking the boss while I'm safe. When it worked, it felt so cool. But
Yeah.
so often, there's so many enemies that are red and so many projectiles that are red, and your clones look like you but red. So many times I either panicked because I thought my clone was an enemy chasing me, or an enemy snuck up on me because it was hiding amongst my clones. And you don't lose your clones until you die. So I
Right.
jumped off the cliff a few times just to get rid of them. They were not a help for me. I thought
I think
so.
that probably happened to me, but I think I just wrote it off on my brain. It's like, well, this game's hard.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
It is. So
so.
Mike, be the tiebreaker then. I'm anti-clone. Timmy's pro-clone.
I also thought that the clones were neat.
Okay. All right. Guess I'm the problem.
No, but you beat it and we didn't. So what does that say?
I mean, I cheated my way to the ending, so it doesn't say much.
The speedruns made it a point even after they fell to regain those.
Yeah.
Oh, they wanted to keep getting those.
Yeah.
The story is much simpler. There's
Yeah.
not the intrigue. There's not like the science aspect of it. It's just ultimate evil kidnaps your girlfriend over and over again.
Yeah.
But I do want to give a shout out to, like, you know, the characters. Like Irene is back from the first game, and you know, there's a lot of shots of her and Ryu just kind of like embracing, and like I kind of was rooting for those crazy kids. Like, you know, I felt a little more attached to them, especially since they were from the previous game.
Right.
And then your new ally character, Roger T. Sturgeon, I believe his name.
Richard, isn't it?
Richard? Is it Roger or Richard?
It's just some normal name. Robert, maybe? I can't remember. Anyways.
He has probably my favorite cutscene in the game because they do a really fun fake out in Ninja Gaiden, the first one. There's this great cutscene where when Irene first meets you, she just shoots you out of the blue.
Right.
And they do that cutscene again, but this time
Yeah.
it's your friend shooting a zombie that's standing behind you.
It's so great. It's
So
so
good.
great.
So good.
Especially he's shooting a zombie and he looks like Albert Wesker, so it's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is an antagonist. Oh, he's actually a cool dude.
Yeah.
And then he sacrifices himself, spoilers, towards the end of the game.
Oh
no. But he has a great final moment of like, oh, you can't kill the jungle rat. And he's like shooting demons. I was like, okay, all right. He's my ride or die. I like him. What else did we like about the game?
I mean, once again, it's got that, you know, even though it's not as perfect as the first one, but it still has everything we talked about with the first one, the tight gameplay. You got to really know what you're doing. It yeah, like I said, it feels a little less fair than the first game, but it's still there, you know. So, but the difference in the levels and the environments I thought was great.
I don't know where this fits in, but you know, Mike had mentioned last time that Ryu Hayabusa is in the Ninja Gaiden series as it went into PlayStation and Xbox, and he makes an appearance in Dead or Alive.
Right.
So the Dead or Alive creators had a hand in that series.
Uh-oh.
You guys want to see what they did to Irene when she got Dead or Alive?
I can see on your screen. Yep. Okay.
It's exactly what you think they do to make her fit.
Buckets.
Holy buckets. Holy
so
buckets.
They set the age to 99 for her.
That's right. Yeah, but I was just like, come on though. Like, I don't do that to Irene.
Do you think she kicks high?
The cord of the necklace, that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. That should be illegal.
If I want to see that, I'll just Google a certain term on a certain website and
go.
It's fine. Like you don't need to show me this.
Yeah. But a Joy-Con for me is that they reuse 3 of the last 4 bosses are all first game. And I just can't imagine, like, you spend money on this game and then you get good enough at this game to get to the end, and they basically just rehash the ending of the previous game.
Yeah.
That would have really irked me if I bought this back in the 90s. And you know, it's like, oh my god, Jaquo or Jaqui or whatever the bad guy, he's back. And I was like, okay, cool. But I kind of would have liked you to do something new because this is a sequel. And I'm fine with like actually the first time the little I think they're called Kelbaros, that shows up. Ryu actually comments on it. He goes, I've fought that creature before. What's going on? And it's a cool moment. I think Mike remembers that from when he was watching the cutscenes.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, and then the next boss, and then the next boss, they're all rehashes. I was like, you kind of overdid it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
But so the story-wise, he ends up fighting the same thing again, Jackie or whatever. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's been him all along.
It was me, Austin. If anybody gets that reference, hats off. So
Like and comment and subscribe. There you go.
you got it? No?
I did not. I'm saying if anyone gets it, they got to follow your show because.
Well, no, but I won't reference it on Room for the Popcorn either because it's a pro wrestling reference, so which I never really watched much, but I remember that.
I got to give a shout out to the story though. The bad guy is using this evil sword, kind of Soul Calibur style.
Yeah.
That is said to have been carved from demon bone.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, he challenges you to use your magic sword, which is made out of a dragon fang.
Right.
Right? So Dragon Fang versus Demon Bone, that sounds like a DVD one of you would own for one reason or another.
I would probably have Dragon Fang versus Demon Bone 2.
That's right.
Where they like ran out of budget and had to shoot in someone's backyard.
But that was the vibe I got from reusing these fights. I was like, did you guys run out of time? Like, why is this the same? It just didn't.
That is weird.
Right. Yeah. So you guys seem pretty high on it. Any other Joy-Cons about Ninja Gaiden 2 before we get to our verdicts?
Well, I think the unfairness is worth mentioning, again, as a con, because yes, the weather stuff, the environmental stuff, while cool, takes away that whole rhythm game aspect because I don't think there was a pattern to the wind.
Yes. And the whole game is like that.
There was, or you're saying you're agreeing with me?
No, I'm totally agreeing.
Okay. So there was not a pattern to the wind. I'm right on that, right?
Well, no, because at first I thought it was going right, then center, then left, then center.
But then somebody right, center. Yeah.
It's, I mean, as Mike teaches us all the time, there's no such thing as true random, but there's not a pattern to learn. And with the first game, it felt harder using rewind because I wasn't getting into the rhythm the game wanted me to.
Right.
And I just don't think, I mean, look, speedrunners comment and tell me I'm an idiot, but I don't think there's a rhythm to this game. And it feels so off for that reason. It's almost like a Tony Hawk game where you can't do tricks. Like, it just feels like it's a slog and I'm getting hit by everything. And it's kinder on the damage and the knockback, so I'm not dying as often, but I'm also not having nearly as much fun.
Right. It's not like when you get through something, it's not as like, whoa, I did it. It's like, thank God, what's next?
Right. Yeah.
And it felt like when I would die, which was a lot, I felt like I was ending up further back than I did in the first game. I feel like the first game had a lot more spots. It was like, no, we're going to put you here.
Yeah, good point.
And this felt a lot more like, it's like, I finally figured out how to do that one thing. I do like that this adds the crawling on the walls.
I didn't like that.
What was that you can crawl up the walls?
Yeah.
But you still can't crawl, like, but if you still can't get over the top, which sucks.
Yes.
Because there's so many times where I, like, fell and I'm clinging on the wall. Well, I can't get up anyways. And I was just listening to our old episode about the first one, and it's the same problem that you had in the first one, Mike, which is, like, you're on this wall, you can't get back up, so you're just waiting to die.
Yeah, and in fact, there's a specific, I read this whole bit, there's a bit in the manual, use a swift kickoff jump from the wall to get out of tight pinches. When you can't jump all the way across a chasm, or if you have taken a wrong step, you might wind up in a position like the one shown in the picture. It's a very difficult to escape once you have gotten into this position. But you can make use of this special technique, climb up to the top of the wall and make a kickoff jump from the wall. Move the control cross quickly in the opposite direction while holding down the A button, and you will be able to jump high up into the air. Keep practicing this technique until you are sure you have mastered it. I never mastered it. I sort of tried.
What?
Yeah, mantling is possible, Timmy, but for some reason they made it nigh impossible to do.
I could, for as much as I hated it, the only time I could ever actually successfully get that to work was the wind levels, and I would just have to wait for the wind. And then I would jump and then go, and there we go.
So if you boys are going to give this game another chance, here's what you do. You're holding up to climb up the wall, and you roll your thumb a little to the left and then press the jump button. If you press left, you'll just fall off the wall. But if you roll your thumb just a little, then you'll whoop. It's something that I did get decent at doing, but it's like, why did you make that difficult?
Yeah,
I guess because like it's tough to be a ninja. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, for the first one, part of the appeal was the difficulty, but like, so they wanted to make, add some difficulty stuff, but it's like, it doesn't have the same feel to it where it's like, you know what it is? In the first game, it's like, this is difficult, but we're on your side.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like, this is difficult. Screw you, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not on your side anymore. We're trying to beat you versus we're trying to help you beat a difficult game, you know?
And like the Dark Souls games would not have gotten so popular if they were difficult because it was hard to control.
Right.
Right? It's like the rock solid controls are the only reason that we feel like we can do this.
Yeah.
So when you don't have that, it's a big miss for a game like this.
Yeah. For me, like it had felt a little bit off the whole, like even the early stuff just felt a bit off. And finally, it was like when I was giving up, the last thing I did before just being done for the night was like, let's just go check the original game to see, like, is this just me misremembering it? And when I went back to the first one, just started picking that up again. It's like, yeah, no, this, I feel like I'm in more control on it.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint what it was about the gameplay exactly that just even like the first stage on each of them, that the original felt better to me than this one did.
Yeah, I get it. So did they make a third NES one?
They did. And
did they keep going with this style, or did they try and go back to the first game?
I've never played it. And it's not on the service yet.
Thank God.
And the little ninja boys. I mean, it's coming, Timmy. It's you couldn't live with your failure.
Listen, man, when I got on the virtual console this morning, I started playing Breath of Fire right away, and I was like, I got to try and convince these guys to jump me from ninja games to JRPGs, because it is so delightful.
No, you've done your time.
A good JRPG is delightful.
You've done your time with these games. Yeah, I think it's time to make you happy next time.
Because because this style of game is not my favorite. Like I even mentioned the last one, open world and stuff. And so even though that didn't exist in these Nintendo days, those JRPGs are similar, where you're walking around, the fights are not super hard, and a good one, even though I guess Super Ninja Boys fits that, it's not good. But you know, a good one would be a good.
It would.
You know what's an interesting thing? I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Because I just saw they uploaded a bunch of these to the Super Nintendo thing along with Super Ninja Boys. Was a bunch of this like Chinese history games, like Romance of the Three Kingdoms Part 7 or some shit. And a couple other ones like that. And I'm like, I have no idea what those games are like or what the gameplay is, but that would be kind of fascinating because we've done Japan. Okay, what these ninja games are, especially the Super Ninja Boys ones, it's Japan doing ninja games. The Super Ninja Boys ones are about China somehow, but so now how about some Chinese history, you know?
That's the logical progression, I think.
Sure.
And I just realized what happened to you. You booted up these games, but you hadn't touched it for a while. So it's like there's something new to play, and you had like probably 30 games that were added.
Yep.
Yeah, no, those ones, I mean, I don't think we have anyone request those yet.
What are those?
They're like Warcraft kind of civilization style games. You like command troops, and actually some of them we can use our Joy-Cons from our Switch 2 as a mouse. So we could actually play it like PC style.
Because those aren't my favorite kind of games, but I have had fun playing those kind of games in the past, so I could see that.
Mike loves those games, so we'd love to have you because I don't.
Maybe
like
we could do with those. Could you still do 2 games in an episode?
No, we've given up that. This was special. This was just for you, big boy, because we knew that you could not live with yourself if you hadn't played more of the Super Chinese series. So that's why we subjected you to Super Ninja Boy.
As I said in the first one, with what we expect out of those, we need someone who can really make this still be entertaining.
Was it still entertaining? I feel like I've been kind of sleepy this time, so I just had a weird week. Huh?
You're great. I've had a great time.
Good.
In case of emergency, break glass and take Timmy. So, guys, I think that's going to bring us to the moment of truth here. We've covered the Joy Pros, the Joy Cons, and every bit in between. Now it's time to declare each game from today's episode as a Nintendo or a NintenDON'T. Let's start off with Super Ninja Boy on the SNES. Timmy, Nintendo or NintenDON'T, and how does it compare to Kung Fu Heroes?
For the love of God, NintenDON'T. And it is better than Kung Fu Heroes, but it's like eating dog poop is probably better than eating bird poop. You know what I mean? So
you're bringing me back to Pink Flamingos. I've seen that recently for the first time. That is my least favorite movie of all time.
Oh, it's I've only seen it once, and I'm sad.
That's enough.
John Waters, genius. Yes, that's Johnny. You got us on that one. I just don't. It's just, you know what? His life is too short.
Don't
And
play it
yes,
for
I
11
watch a lot
hours.
of movies and I buy a lot of movies, and some of them are garbage. However, I had a friend whose roommate used to go onto Amazon and just watch all like the shark movies. And they're making new shark movies every other week, and they're bull crap. And they're, it's like
House
it's
Shark and Ouija Shark.
yeah,
And
it's just tax dodges. You know what I mean? It's like all those Bruce Willis movies that they kind of revealed, and Zach kind of told us about how they were just kind of like a financing scam. And so it's like, okay, but when I watch a garbage movie, it's one that a dude really wanted to make, but he only had $2,000. I don't watch corporate bile that's just trying to make a buck, and these games feel like that.
and also,
So
like, even with those kind of movies where you're like, you don't really know how it'll shape up, you're out in 90 minutes.
yeah, exactly.
Like, you're done.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bill you guys for the time I played this one and Kung Fu Heroes eventually. So.
Man, if I billed someone for all 11 hours of hell I went through Ninja Boy, but I'm gonna so better than Kung Fu Heroes, but still don't.
Yeah.
Mike, where'd you land and where'd you place this game in our rankings?
So it's complicated in that I actually was having fun with the gameplay, as weirdly janky as it was once I adapted to it, because it felt consistently janky, which is
Mm-hmm.
like I can work with that.
Sure.
I have no idea what's going on. So like I think this like that's so incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Like a map that was just here's the places you need to be at this dot would have been a massive change in this.
Yeah.
So I think for me, like it ends up as I think it ends up as a NintenDON'T because just like the sheer lack of conveying a story. I shouldn't exit out of a chapter of the story and not know what happened.
Yes. Yes.
Like just that's so profoundly that shouldn't occur in a game.
Right.
But I still had fun moving around the world fighting things for some reason. So I think it's still a NintenDON'T for me. But I do have this at 64, which puts it below Mappy Land and above Tennis.
Low Mappy Land and above Tennis. Okay.
These are all games you guys have played because I can see the list. And so
Yeah.
you really don't like some of these, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Perfect
surprised to
Circle.
see something like Zelda 2 down there or Star Fox.
Oh my God. Timmy Williams.
Oh, because this is Mike's list. Okay.
Are you a Zelda 2 defender?
I don't remember what it is, so
Say
probably
yes.
not.
I
But
need
I
this.
just it's a Zelda
Say
game.
yes. Oh my God.
I really love how the Super Nintendo one starts, but that's number 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Link to the Past. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
one
remember
day-
Adventure of Link.
I'm the only one who liked Adventure of Link. It's the 2D side-scrolling one.
Okay, well, I just saw the name Zelda and the number 95, and I was like, what the hell?
It's pretty infamously bad. Like
Okay. We'll forgive that one. But Golden Axe, I don't know. Some of these, sure, okay. Whatever, Mike. If everybody liked all the same stuff, the world would be boring.
Right. So for me,
Mhm.
I truly hate Super Ninja Boy. I don't know if I had genuine fun one time in 11 hours.
Wow.
I feel wronged by this game. I am embarrassed to have beaten it. I question this whole endeavor, Mike. This is my first NintenDON'T 64 because it's so bad and there's so much of it that it is my new bottom game.
Wow.
This is my most hated game because Xevious was also grating with the same music over and over again, and it also was no fun. But I spent 59 minutes playing that game.
Right.
I will never get those 11 hours back.
No.
And it's probably contextual because I was having a rough week on top of this game. But games are supposed to be fun.
Entertainment. Escapism.
I don't think I've ever felt like I've wasted time more.
Right.
I hate Super Ninja Boy. I hate Super Ninja Boy. You Super Ninja Boy.
Dude, you got to put the bleeps on the 2 times we say that about this game because I think it works out. Well, I think it's funny you said NintenDON'T 64 because it's on Mike's list as number 64.
I can't believe it's that high, but I would challenge you to beat it and then come talk to me.
That's a good
Because if
point.
I played this game, look, it was at the beginning, I was like, oh, and then the thing that haunts me is that in our last episode, I told you this was way better than Kung Fu Heroes, and you think it is. Tell me that after 11 hours with it.
They both stink. You know what it is too is, well, I guess that wasn't really with those games, but so never mind. But anyways, but I might bring some up before we're done. But anyways, yeah, that's NintenDO'N't.
Super NintenDO'N't 64.
I will have you know, I do actually, it is lower on my list than Kung Fu Heroes.
Okay. Okay.
So
So you also felt like, yeah. Yep. I
Okay.
go back to Kung Fu Heroes in a heartbeat. Well, I don't know about a heartbeat. It's what, a 12 higher.
Right.
So, yep. Worse than Xevious. Xevious. I'm sorry I was so harsh to you. There's
I'm
a
sorry, baby.
Yeah.
for as much as you make a point about like the rewind button, you know, you got a mute button if the music's a problem, right?
I just felt like I owed it to be academically honest and historically accurate and just suffer. I suffered. I suffered for you, whoever is listening. All right, so Ninja Gaiden 2. I'm guessing it's going to be a better thing, but is it a Nintendo? Timmy, what's your ranking for this sequel game?
I really like the environmental stuff, like I mentioned.
It's tough, right? It's actually tough.
It's a tough one. I am leaning NintenDO'N't. Although the environmental stuff was really cool though. What I really loved was World 3 with the flashing lightning.
Yeah.
That was badass because even though you're jumping in the dark, like you still like it hit that sweet spot that Ninja Gaiden does all the time, which is like this is hard, but I know what I'm doing because a game has helped me do it. And like, so there's a part in that stage where it's dark before the flashes and you're jumping from little tiny narrow pillar to little tiny narrow pillar. And I was doing it in the fucking dark. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's very ninja.
But it was otherwise so hard and not in as fun a way as the first game. So
You're reluctant, Nintendo.
It'd be reluctant either way.
Yeah. I agree. I totally
What about
agree.
a Nintendo?
A Nintendo.
Nintendo.
But so since you're not ranking all the games definitively worse than the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was like a resounding Nintendo because that's like one of the games. You know what I mean? That's like up on, if Mount Rushmore had like 25 heads, it'd probably be up there. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But this one, yeah, I think I'll go NintenDO'N't, but just barely. Like, play it until, you know what? Play it until you get mad. Try and get into the World 2. No, try and get into World 3 and then quit. If you're mad, then quit. But NintenDO'N't.
So
Is that a Nintendo? Okay, Nintendo, but I guess then. Okay, Nintendo. We'll say Nintendo, but a very weak Nintendo. Just quit after World 3 if you're not digging it. But World 3, I think that lightning thing, I think that's cool. I think
it is. Cool. It is neat. It looks cool. It's a neat mechanic. It's very good thematically. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
The struggle is real with this one. He's right because it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's just objectively worse than the first one in almost every way.
You know what it is like? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you know what it's like? I've always said BioShock 2 would have been great if it was called something else.
Oh, I love BioShock 2, and I didn't understand the hate for it.
And maybe this would be like that too.
Yeah.
Or like the remake of The Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington. Great movie if it was not called The Manchurian Candidate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, there's nothing on paper that makes this a NintenDO'N't, but at the same pricing tier, you have access to Ninja Gaiden.
Right. Which is
why would you play this one?
Right. And the lightning's the only reason.
So yeah. I also landed on a very reluctant NintenDO'N't. And I think what really tipped it for me was that I did not like the whole clone thing. I felt like that was a neat idea that I just actively disliked. And I mean, I just booted up Ninja Gaiden and just be like, am I crazy? No, this is way better. You just.
Right. Well, Mike just said the same thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike, is it going to be a clean sweep or where'd you land on Ninja Gaiden 2?
It's an interesting dichotomy because with Super Ninja Boy, I kind of enjoyed the gameplay, but the storytelling temp is non-existent.
Yeah.
Here, I found the gameplay frustrating to a point of not being fun, way faster than I would have liked. Like, I would have liked to see the lightning stuff.
Right. Yeah. But you couldn't handle the wind thing. And I almost quit, man. I did quit, washed some dishes, went back to it.
Yeah. And so, like, it's a part where, like, if I try to push back through, but honestly, the thing that would drive me to push back through, the main thing is the story cutscenes, which I still think they're not as good, but I still think they're good. I still think it's ridiculous there's not like some Ninja Gaiden movies.
Right. I agree with that. Some anime films, man. They should do that.
I think there are anime.
Okay.
That I have to check out.
Okay.
But yeah, this very much feels like, and this one, the cutscenes almost feel a little bit more horror-ish. So I mean, if anybody knows anyone that's doing like live action movies of horror video games, get,
I don't.
just toss it.
He's already working on his next film, man. He's probably
Yeah.
good. He's probably a Belarus or some ass, some crazy Central
He's a
European place
machine.
again.
Yeah.
He is a machine. And I
Your dad.
now
I don't know if
knowing
he is.
somebody who has it, I'm like, I don't.
You're just a different kind of machine.
Because yes, he's got a nice, he's been able to live a nicer lifestyle now, right? But he also, like, I was in his new house a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, this is a beautiful house. I hope you get to enjoy it someday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Love you, Zach, if you're listening.
And they do, and they do. But like, it's also just like he's working, which is great. But also like the pressure, especially now that your movie won a lady an Oscar and your next one's a video game movie. Like, it's crazy pressure, man. I don't know. Good luck.
It's gonna be dope. I forgot
But
to mention.
I'll float Ninja Gaiden to him.
There you go. There you go.
Excellent. But yeah, so I think for me, I feel like I like how, and especially compared to any other games of this era, the way that this tells a story with those cutscenes, I think is just so well done.
It's still cool. Even if a new game did that, it'd be cool. You know what I mean?
Still cool. It's one of the things, like, just it does it in such a visually distinct way. I like that. I can just go find a long play, which like I'll put it in the notes and just skip to the cutscenes to get that. But it's hard for me to feel like it's worth putting up with the game to get to those. Right. And by that, I mean, it's hard to say it's worth putting up with that wind specifically. Like, even the bits after that feel more doable. Like, the lightning thing is a really cool concept where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's hard, but also you start to learn it.
Yeah, World 2 to me was the best. Or World 3, I'm sorry, I keep saying 2. World 3 was the best because it was hard but fun, and the rest of it was too hard.
Yeah. And so I think for me, this also ends up as a NintenDO'N't.
Oh, man.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and if it felt rough, because I'm like, there's a thing I really like here, but just other parts of this get in the way. And unfortunately, the game is kind of the part of a game. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's close, but so far.
So I put it, Mike, I forgot to mention, I put it at 76, better than Donkey Kong on the NES, because that game is just so simple once you beat the 3 levels it has, and then below Super Mario Kart. Where did you put it on your lists?
I put Ninja Gaiden 2 at 58, which is below Pinball and above Shining Force 2.
Ah, okay. Yeah, for me, my spot on the ranking, it was kind of clutched with other games that are not bad, but there's just better versions of that game on Nintendo Switch Online. Right. Super Mario Kart is fun on the SNES, but you have Mario Kart 64.
Right, which is the version.
The version. Donkey Kong on the NES is fine, but you have Donkey Kong on the Game Boy.
Right.
So it's like the bottom quadrant of our list is actually pretty good games that just became irrelevant because there's a better game on the service that you'd pick before it.
Right.
So here it's time, guys, for the and standings. Not Mike, not Jaymo, but the and in between. The mathematical placement for Ninja Gaiden 2 and Super Ninja Boy. Mike, will you walk us through the and standings for these two games?
All right. So Super Ninja Boy is clocking in at 94th on the list.
Out of 111. So not fantastic.
Which will put it right below Doomsday Warrior and above Super Soccer.
And I'm going to say it's not low enough, but that's your guys' thing. So.
Thank you, Timmy. I'm glad you're here. It's my bottom, Timmy. I literally did everything I could, Timmy.
But hey, I'm not going to get down on Mike for liking it. That's fine. You know what? Liking stuff is fine. Liking stuff is better than hating stuff. So.
And I always treat it as like, my ranking is really like, if I had to play something, which would I find more fun to play right now?
Right, yeah.
But Mike, Super Ghouls and Ghosts being worse is still an atrocity that you need to apologize for.
If that thing could run better when I played it.
My necklace. We mentioned that in the last one too.
What about Ninja Gaiden 2, Mike?
And then Ninja Gaiden 2 is at 65th, right?
Respectable.
Below F-Zero and right above Spanky's Quest.
Spanky's Quest. Is that a Little Rascals game or what is that?
It's a monkey that bounces gumballs on his head as he fights his sentient picnic basket, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah. It has a overly sexy apple on the cover, I believe.
He just always uses any excuse.
That sounds like the Butthole Surfers made a video game. Anyways.
Check it out. It's on the service.
It is. There's an element of fever dream to that game.
Oh, and Timmy, I forgot to ask because when we did the last episode, you didn't know you could rewind. Did you rewind this time?
Every three.
Okay.
I did the rewind a little bit. No, you know what? I still did the save state thing. And then I'm listening to the old episode today. And I was like, hell, I forgot about that.
Again.
So I did it. I actually, you know what? I did it a little bit playing Ninja Boy.
Yeah, Super Ninja Boy.
I can't remember why, but I did actually use the rewind function.
There you go. And it didn't
Anyways,
make it any better.
Mike, I feel like I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, I think that covered the placement. And then the tops of our lists.
Oh, okay.
My top three, which I continue to get flack for, is number 1 is Pokemon Snap, number 2 is Mario Kart 64, and number 3 is Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball.
Which is awesome. It's a fun game,
That's
but top
great.
3 is pretty wild.
Well, to you.
Yeah, my Mario Kart 64, Sonic 2, and Street Fighter 2.
And see, here's the deal. Like Jaymo, yeah, of course, but also, you know what? Mike's top 3 are not predictable.
That's true.
Whereas yours are 3 amazing games, but I bet they're at a lot top 3. So
It sounds like you're calling me basic.
And I'm not saying they're any worse than those, but I'm just saying, Mike's has a little pizzazz to it. So,
Mike definitely has a more distinct flavor than I do. I will be.
But that's fine too. I mean, I mean, what is Legend of Zelda 4 Swords?
Oh, we got to play that one, Timmy.
Is that super or what is that?
Game Boy Advance.
Oh, Game Boy Advance had some sick games. The Castlevania on that one is good too.
Yeah.
In that case, it's 4 swords is up to 4 players.
Yeah, 4-player gauntlet style Zelda, but with
That's
puzzles,
cool.
it's rad.
That's
It's
cool.
so good, so underrated.
I should probably make my kid dinner sometime soon.
Probably. So let's
Gotta
call
get
that.
to those skinless bratwurst. I
That's
feel like you
right.
have to say it that way. You want some skinless bratwurst?
want a
Put on
skin
your
gauntlet?
skin gauntlet. And listen, I've been doing that voice before Family Guy did it. Okay, so whatever. But
Send him a check, McFarlane. All right, guys, we're gonna call that game over for today. Timmy, congratulations on all your success here. Before
Thank
you
you.
ninja flip your way out of here, why don't you remind our listeners where they
Yes.
can go to get a case of the Timmy Willies?
okay, urn full of popcorn, URNFULLA, which we since I listened to our previous episode just today, it is a portmanteau. So urnfullofpopcorn.com. And then also Whitest Kids. So you can go to WKUKMars.com. That will show you where the movie's playing. It also has a link to the Blu-ray to buy. It is also streaming now. I think you can purchase it through Fandango at home. But the Blu-ray, you can also just go to MediaOCD.com. And then you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. So our friend Justin owns MediaOCD.com. And he started a sub-label called Whole Grain Pictures. And Mars was one of the releases on that. And I was overjoyed to see that the release, I can't remember if it was right before or right after. I think right before. So when you look at Whole Grain Pictures, you see Mars, and then right next to it is a film called Big Boobs Buster. And it is not pornography. It is, apparently it was made for TV, even though there is nudity and stuff in it. But it's like a body positivity thing, but it's also more like a feminist, like, we don't need these boys kind of thing. It's an interesting message, but it is crazy. And I talked about that on streams and stuff about how I loved that happened, that Big Boobs Buster is next to our movie. And so when Justin sent me a copy of Mars, he also sent me a copy of Big Boobs Buster in the slipcover. Good job, Justin.
If you are my student listening to this, okay, name your grade. Okay, name your grade. Guys, that sounds excellent, every bit of it here. Join us next time. We're going to be combo breaking our way through Killer Instinct on the SNES.
God.
Yeah, come on, Timmy.
Woo.
We're going to put together a little tournament if you want to play in it.
Nope, hate that game.
Oh,
I hate fighting games.
oh, okay. Well,
You
don't.
did say you would hurt Jaymo, and
Yeah, you did. You did it. Look at that. The prophecy is
when my
complete.
ratings tie into also not like fighting games, I think he dies a little inside every time.
I do.
I don't like competition.
I do. But everyone, don't forget to visit www.theoldswitcharoo.com. There you can find links to our Spotify, our Discord, YouTube, TikTok, and all the social medias you can shake a joystick at. Big thanks to Crystal Fields for our incredible intro song. And please, dear listener, especially if you're here from Earnful of Popcorn, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every click means a lot, and you mean a lot to us. Until next time, this has been the Old SwitchAroo, where we've been talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I've been Mike.
And I've been Jaymo. Game on, everyone.
I'm at the store in this game and I'm about to buy a skin gauntlet.
Delisted.
I can't. Oh my God.
I mean, that's just like a sheepskin condom. Like, let's be honest. A skin
What else
gauntlet.
could it be?
What else could it be? What's it do to your stats?
Thought of it more as like you kill someone and wear their skin as armor.
All right.
You know, like a normal thing.
Okay, and then I go to buy it. He goes, "Is it okay?" It's like, no, this is not okay. This is not okay at all.
I like when you try to buy too many sweet buns and he goes, "You can't take it anymore." Like, not you can't take anymore. You can't take it anymore.
It's definitely a little bit sexual. So do I get all your items then? Look at that. All right.
Wait, so you can eat my sweet buns and I can't stop you?
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna eat them all.
To be clear, that is sweet buns, not sweet buns.
Oh, it's a Super Ninja Ass Eater boy.
Wait.
Princess Scheherazade.
Which game did you play, Timmy? This is a very important question.
It was in the gal genre.
There you go. Call
See?
back.
Call back, dude. Can we hurt each other?
I
think we can.
You're talking about the game, right?
Oh, I'll hurt your feelings for sure.
And only your feelings.
Can we hurt each other in this?
Doesn't seem
so.
to. Well, actually, wait,
You
did I
just
just
hit me
hit
with
you?
your
Wait a minute.
stick,
No, I think that was him hitting you. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
you
smacking
hit
you
me.
around. Wait, you punched me in the face.
I would love to. There we go. Okay.
I'm just wondering, is it actually doing damage? I don't think it.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you
Oh,
damaged
my God.
me.
Okay. All right. You didn't happen to see how many enemies we need to defeat to end this, did you?
No, I didn't even know they tell you that.
Oh!
When I played, I was just punching people until it was done. Yeah, next time I'd love to come back whenever, but like, yeah, we'll play a game that's like, we should have my daughter pick one because she's like so good at chill games. Like, we talked about that last time, but now she's in that Tamagotchi Island thing.
Oh, Tamagotchi Live.
Yeah, she's made all the Whitest Kids and also made Zach's wife a character, and she and Zach fell in love on her island. So good job. It'd be really weird if she fell in love with like Sam, but
Yeah. There's a whole skit.
Oh, that'd be amazing. He's like, wait, she's married to who on the island?
Do you know how to have her take screenshots and send them to the phone? Is that a thing you know how to do?
I don't know. She's posted something on Instagram. You know what's funny? She has her own Instagram, and she posted a little Instagram, the story reel thing or whatever, of that. And Sam reposted that because her and Sam are like buddies on Instagram, like commenting on each other's stuff and liking it. And I'm like, how do I post a picture instead of a video? So